And we've got Danik Lambert on the number 3 out of the Weatherall camp. He's down coming out of corner 2, so we're going to have a complete restart.
Driver is up. Hopefully his sled is okay. It did take a tumble there.
Danik is up and okay, and I'm sure he's a little bit frustrated right now. They came down here to win this world championship, and he's got a fast buggy, Mike.
Everybody fighting for a little bit of real estate there as they come through 1 and 2. They just got crossed up. He's looking underneath, trying to make sure everything's okay.
So Danik, he's looking over his sled, trying to make sure that everything is okay and that he can continue, Mike. That's a hard way to start on World Championship Sunday here at the Derby, but it looks like Danik is ready to go, and if he can make that sled go, I guarantee you he's going to be back.
Absolutely. Hey, we want to say a great big thank you to FloRacing and Diva Snow Gear, DSG, for that awesome winter apparel for all of our amazing workers and volunteers out here at the World Championship Derby Complex.
So we've got the racers up there by the staging gate. They're going to hold them there until everybody's ready to go, Mike, and checking out the sleds. The Derby staff and the tech people will take a look at Danik's sled quick, make sure they're ready to go, and then Rico will bring them back down for a complete restart.
We also want to thank other great sponsors like Wild Eagle Lodge for their absolutely awesome lodging accommodations. John Deere for helping us out with those John Deere Gators that help to move the sleds when they break down out on the track. Also products and people all around the grounds. Ultimax Belts by Timken. You can check them out down in the Expo Hall.
So we're getting them lined back up. It looks like on the replay, like the 30 got into the back end. Jaslyn Radke got into the back end of the 3 of Danik Lambert, and which put him on his head. But everybody looks like they're going to get ready. But definitely Radke got into the back end, and that was the incident that put Lambert over the edge on his sled. So it looks like Danik is still ready to go, and we're going to do a complete restart here shortly. Sleds are still up and staging here. We're waiting for the call from Rico, and we'll see if we can get a restart going here shortly. What a beautiful day here at the Eagle River Derby. We've been blessed with a lot of white snow up here all weekend, and we had it again this morning. So the Eagle River community is certainly enjoying a good snowy weekend here as we finish up the World Championship, the 63 annual World Championship here in Eagle River. Track is in absolutely amazing condition. So we've got a slow-mo replay playing right now, and you can see the driver 30 there just taps the back end of Danik Lambert. And then he gets hit again by another sled. So the start of the wreck got Danik sideways and another sled unable to avoid Danik. So pretty big incident here in our Champ 440 final. But looks like everybody should be able to go again. So we are getting ready here. They're figuring out the staging, and a couple sleds look like they'll be starting the back row. Danik Lambert and Jaslyn Rathke out of Wausau. She'll be heading to the back row as well. Mike, big incident early here right away to start the day off. That's a tough way to start the day.
Yeah, everybody's fighting for a little bit of real estate there. You got, just tapped there, and then he got T-boned, actually, it looked like, as he came off the sled. Glad he's okay. It looked like it was a rough off.
It definitely is, Mike. And again, we talked about this yesterday with Matt Gady up in the booth, and your body being part of that snowmobile, and your leg, you're leaning your leg off on the ice, and when another sled's coming at you, your body's the bumper, unfortunately. So that can be a very dangerous game when you get T-boned like Danik did, and it's glad to see he's okay. So we just got the signal, Mike. They're going to head up to turn 4, and we'll have a couple sleds in the back row, in the back cone, here for the restart in the Champ 440 7-lap final.
Restart, full restart, and in the back row.
Once again, great big thank you to some great sponsors like Triggs Smokehouse, King's Quarry, Dean Distributing, Truck Center of Rhinelander, Eagle Country RV, Eagle River Ford, Dodge, and Jeep, Pitlick and Wick, Mountain Dew, Case Construction, and Case Agriculture, and Northern Lakes Concrete. Also want to thank Elevated Docks and Lifts.
So Rico bringing them down out of corner 4 here. We've got the 27X of Landry. That's one beautiful looking sled. Love that aero package on the Landry sled. Next up will be the 39 of Tom Olson now. And we've got an interesting development, Mike. The 102 of Blaine Stevenson, the Wall Brothers racing machine, is parked up in corner 4. Blaine Stevenson standing on the inside of the track. He's out of the race, Mike.
That is absolutely heartbreaking for Blaine. He is a top-notch competitor.
Definitely the guy to beat. So these people on the line here, they've got an opportunity, Mike. It's going to be a good race.
The door is wide open. It's anybody's race.
Danik Lambert pulls up to the second position on the cone. Rico's flag in hand, and here we go on the ice, and we're green, Mike.
Good hole shot for the 27.
Landry and Olson. Olson to the outside. Tom Olson now to the lead. Landry right there with him, and here comes the 30 sled of Jaslyn Rathke. She's looking real good up front.
Good battle here as they come off of 3, 4.
Radke moving to move on third. That's Jaslyn for third, but the 4 comes inside, and Rattle is in third now. He gets a position easily. But it's Tom Olson out front. Tom Olson on the Weatherell Racing sled. That's Skidoo running up front. And we've got Danik Lambert off the track as well. Danik is parked on the outside of the front straightaway. So Tom Olson, then Landry, now the number 4 of Rattle, and then Jaslyn Rathke holding her own, but Christensen coming up to paddle for 4th. Now Jaslyn goes high, and Christian's going to drive underneath. We've got racing all over the track, but Tom Olson now. Tom comfortably in the lead, Mike. He's rocking it. Looking real smooth, Tom Olson on the Weatherell sled.
Olson really smooth through turns 3 and 4. Continuing to pour on the speed.
What a break for Tom Olson to have Blaine Stevenson out. Blaine was certainly the guy to beat in this class, and Tom is showing why he is a great driver. Tom Olson well out in front now. If he can hold together, he's got this world championship.
Good challenge here for 3rd place.
Now the number 4 in the C21 of Christensen do battle. Rathke has moved back to the 6th spot, it looks like.
Red flag
and we've got
driver
one
off
hard into the wall in turn 1. That looks like the 30 sled of Jaslyn Rathke, and she took a big hit coming into turn 1. Jaslyn is down on the ice. We'll wait for more information here, Mike, but we do not like to see those kinds of wrecks. So Jaslyn Rathke with a very hard hit coming out of turn 1 into turn 2 into the wall by the corporate hot seats there. Jaslyn is down on the ice, and we've got the medical crew coming to her attention right now, Mike.
We need a toll board in turn 4.
So, folks, if you're watching here, we had a incident in turn number 1 with Jaslyn Rathke. We've got the medical personnel on site here, and we're just going to hang tight while they take care of Jaslyn. But a pretty scary incident here in our Champ 440 event in turn 1. So again, for those watching here on Flow TV and those here in the Eagle River Derby track site, we've had an incident in turn 1 with Jaslyn Rathke on the 30 sled in the Pro Champ feature. And we have the medical personnel on site taking care of Jaslyn. In the meantime, we're just going to hang tight. The John Deere Gator taking Blaine Stevenson off the track with his sled. So we're just going to hang tight here and see, make sure Jaslyn's okay. Okay, so we did have the medical personnel dispatched over to corner number 1. They do have Jaslyn Rathke on a backboard, loading her onto the John Deere Gator here at the Derby track. So we're going to let those folks take care of Jaslyn and come back to you with some racing here in a little bit after we get the track prep done and make sure that Jaslyn is in good hands here with the ambulance crew. And so they are taking Jaslyn Rathke off the track now and preparing the bales, getting her sled picked up off the track as well. Mike, this is an incident we never want to see in snowmobile racing, is that kind of an incident.
Absolutely not. We definitely hope Jaslyn is okay, and this is just precautionary. As you had said the other day, when you come off your sled like that, your body can actually speed up as it's carrying momentum down into the bales like that. And it's been cold. It's been damp. As much as they try to cover those bales up, they do get moisture built up inside them that's going to freeze, and they get hard.
Absolutely, Mike. And, like we talked with Matt Gady yesterday when he was in the booth, as the track gets used during the weekend, we start to see the stutter bumps from the braking coming in, and we start to see the stutter bumps coming out where they get on the throttle. Both create the bumps that you'll see. Especially, you'll notice it when the plow trucks are out. You'll see them bobbing up and down. And remember, those racers are hitting those bumps at in excess of 80 miles an hour as they come into that turn. So, Jaslyn Rathke, from what I could tell when I saw her come off the sled, it looked like she just lost the grip on the handlebars. Maybe he wasn't holding on tight enough and came off and followed that sled into the bales. And that's a pretty wicked hit for Jaslyn.
Yeah, once you let go of that machine, there's no way to slow yourself down, no way to stop yourself until you come to that abrupt stop. And, yeah, it's rough on the biggest of people. So, definitely we hope that Jaslyn is okay, and we want to wish her the best and make sure that we get a update on how she's doing, and hopefully we can bring that to you here.
Yeah, certainly. We'll keep everybody appraised of the condition of Jaslyn as we get information here in the booth, but looks like they've got the bales back in place now, and they're getting Jaslyn's sled carried off the track. So we'll probably see Rico getting back out here shortly to give us a restart here.
Yeah, he just got back down to where he's going to flag from.
We were talking earlier about some of the history here, Mike, and certainly Eagle River Derby track. The history here is 63rd annual Eagle River World Championship.
It is going to be an absolutely awesome championship Sunday here at the World Championship Derby Complex. We're the only track in the world that crowns a world champion. An eagle flying over the track, nothing but good luck coming for us all.
So Jaslyn Rathke is in the ambulance, and we have another ambulance on the way.
So because the ambulance is leaving the grounds, we do have to hold up just momentarily as we're waiting for another one to come in. We do have to have the proper safety people on grounds in order to be able to run the event safely for everyone.
So Jaslyn Rathke is being transported to the Eagle River Hospital here by ambulance. We're waiting for another ambulance to arrive on site, and we will keep everybody posted. So again, for everybody on Flow TV that's watching or here on the grounds, we did have an incident with Jaslyn Rathke on a number 30 Polaris in turn 1, and Jaslyn is right now being transported to the hospital here in Eagle River for another look. So we are waiting for a new ambulance to arrive before we go racing.
So while we're waiting, we want to thank those great folks at FloRacing, Diva Snow Gear, DSG. You can stop down into the expo hall and check their stuff out. LCQ drivers, please head down into lane 3, please, right now. LCQ drivers, lane 3, right now, please.
So World Championship LCQ drivers, if you didn't hear the announcement from Mike, please report to lane 3 in the paddock area immediately. World Championship Formula 3 qualifying LCQ drivers.
Drivers, please remember as you get done racing today to get those transponders turned in as soon as possible. That way you don't incur any charges. Hey, don't forget about the Last Lap Saloon. You can stop down there, get yourself a Bloody Mary. That's nothing goes better with racing on a Sunday morning than a Bloody Mary. You get a whole salad in a glass.
That's for sure, Mike. They do a good job down there. I had a chance to stop over by the Pat's Motorsports booth this morning and had a donut with the Big Bimbowski.
Lots of great stands down there in the expo hall area. You can get into some raffles. There is a absolutely awesome John Deere liquidator down there that's going to be raffled off.
Yes, it is. It's the beautiful John Deere liquidator that supports the Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame, Mike. It is an original sled that's been completely restored to new condition, and that the proceeds from that help support the Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame, and we've got a really, really strong group of inductees this year coming in. Gary Moyle from Houghton, Michigan. Gary was a phenomenal two-time world champ. I actually had the opportunity to race with Gary a little bit in my era, but well-deserved. Of course, Terry Wall from the Wall Brothers Racing Team. I mean, no doubt for Terry. Marcel Imboulé from Quebec, one of the Skidoo Racing guys from the race shop, just a phenomenal builder and person within the Skidoo team. And, of course, Greg Merrier from the Yamaha and Scorpion program. All four will be inducted at the annual Ride with the Champs. And so that will be a very fun weekend to be involved, especially with Terry Wall and Gary Moyle getting into the hall.
Absolutely. There's also a great raffle for a MXZ snowmobile from Trackside in the Groom and Ride raffle. You can get tickets for that also down there. Remember, each of those raffles, you can't win if you don't play.
For sure, Mike. You gotta get in the game to win it, correct? And again, we're here at the 63rd Annual World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Can't say enough about the track crew this year, Mike. What a wonderful facility.
Absolutely beautiful track that they got out here. We just got the second ambulance back on scene, so we're just about ready to go back racing.
Absolutely, and we appreciate the ambulance personnel and all those workers that put their lives on the line for us, Mike, to take care. We've got great people here that help these racers when they get in trouble, and it's certainly appreciated by everybody.
Absolutely. As are all the volunteers around the grounds here. Great big thank you to all of you coming out here, spending your time here with us to bring this great event to the people all weekend long.
Absolutely. I met a gentleman, Bruce, over by the gate this morning early here. He was here well before I was, for sure. What a nice gentleman.
Down at the end here?
Yes, sir.
Bruce has been there all weekend. I believe he was there last weekend as well. Great job, Bruce. Thank you to you down there. We see you down there at the gate. We see you, brother.
So we're going to bring him back out. Tom Olson had a really big lead there on that Weatherell Skidoo, and he's got Spencer Landry from Brookline, New Hampshire, right behind him. So we're going to probably do a staggered start here, and we'll have Rigo bring him down.
Again, 2 laps to go here in this Pro Champ final.
Tom Olson, he's got to be sweating a little bit. He had a big lead, Mike, and now that just takes that lead and throws it right in the garbage. It's all over
everybody
again.
else out there has been, very fortunate to get that chance to get this hole shot again. And, anything can happen off that flag drop. You got to have, that quick timing as Rico drops that flag, and you can find yourself in first place real quick.
Absolutely. So the 39 of Olson, the 27 of Landry, the 4 of Rettel, the C21 of Christensen, and the 964 of Graber are in this race. And we've got 2 laps to go. Rico with flag in hand. He's checking it out, and we are green. Whoa, it looked like the C21 got a good hole shot. Tom Olson to the inside again with C21 right there in second now. Christensen moving up on the second place, and here comes Landry to the inside. Spencer Landry trying to make a move, but it's Tom Olson out in front. Clean air with the white flag, Mike. 1 to go.
Olson, Christensen, Landry, Riedel, and Graber.
Landry's fighting hard, trying to get that second spot. He had it covered, but again, like we said, hole shot's really important. Spencer dives low now. Can he get him? Here we come. It's Tom Olson, your world champion in Pro Champ 440. Tom Olson on the 39. What a win for that Wetherill team from Canada.
Absolutely. Great run for him. He was holding it through the corners beautifully.
So Tom Olson on the 39 from Lodi, Wisconsin, aboard the Wetherill Skeleton Racing Team. Tom Olson's going to come down here and take the first checkered flag of the day, Mike.
Working his way down around to the Ultimax belt by Timken winner circle.
Yes, sir. And Tom Olson, like you talked earlier, came from the Wall Brothers team last year over to Wetherill this year, and look what he just produced on that beautiful-looking Ski-Doo.
Absolutely awesome run out there for him.
Tom Olson from Lodi, Wisconsin, pulling up to the checkered flag, Mike. Here he is.
Once again, your Pro Champ champion. On the 39 from Lodi, Wisconsin, Thomas Olson.
Nice run for Tom Olson. Congratulations in the pits to Paul Wetherill and his crew. They work hard. They show up all the races. They've got nice-looking equipment, and big shout-out to those guys for coming down here and racing with us.
Moving on to heat number 1 for the Outlaws. There's going to be 3 sleds in this Outlaw 600 heat race. Oh, excuse me, they're side by side. There's 6 sleds in this.
Yes, sir. There's going to be a 6-sled group here. We're going to see the 17 of Jordan Grabowski and Joe Schneider out on the front row. Second row will be Tim Hibbard from Leominster, New Hampshire, and David Webster out of Monroe, Wisconsin. Third row is going to be Chris Soren and Nathan Gebhardt. So we've got a side-by-side. These are set up, Mike, again, like a cockpit-style race car.
Gotcha. I wasn't looking properly at the sheet there. I guess I was still covering one eye trying to see straight.
So here we go. I had a really nice conversation with Tim Hibbard this morning from New Hampshire. What a nice gentleman. And he's looking for a world championship this weekend. Runs out of the Steve Livingston shop out in New Hampshire. Very good friends of the Hall of Fame. Steve supports the sport with a lot of effort, and they've been in this thing a long time. So the Outlaw sleds are getting onto the ice. And again, like we explained yesterday, Mike, they have a track on the outside. There's a ski under the seat that doesn't really touch the ice unless that sled gets sideways. Then that ski is there to balance. Otherwise, they're riding on the track on the outside and the 2 skis.
And these guys go from a rolling start as they come down.
Similar to a sprint
Watch your
car
flag
race.
Man Rico. Green flag's up and we're racing.
And there goes Joe Schneider. Front row, Joe Schneider to the lead right now. Schneider with a lead, but here comes the 44. And then Hibbard down on the inside, Tim Hibbard.
5 laps in this heat race for the Outlaw 600s.
And the 44, Webster gets a little sideways. That's going to give some room for Hibbard. Hibbard trying to make up ground, and here comes the 381 of Soren from Manitoba, Canada. Looks like Joe Schneider's got his buggy working really good here, Mike. He's got a good lead, but here comes Webster trying to close it in the corner. Schneider now into turn 1 and 2 with Webster and Hibbard in tow. But Hibbard starting to look like he might have a shot at Webster here. See if Tim can get at him here with a couple laps to go. Here comes Tim Hibbard. Can he get him in the corner, Mike?
The 381 of Soren is knocking on the back door as well, looking for that third place position.
We could have a dogfight here for second as we come into another lap down. Looks like Webster drifts high, and that's going to give a little more help to Hibbard. And then the 381.
Soren with some speed down the backstretch, but Hibbard able to hold him off.
Good
Into
racer.
turns 3 and 4.
Almost some contact coming out of 4. Hibbard
Pushing
down to the
high.
inside of Webster. Can he get him down the front stretch? Tim Hibbard with that Arctic Cat power, and he does. A little bump and run, Mike.
As they came across the line, Schneider, Webster,
There
Hibbard,
he goes. Hibbard
Soren,
now in front of
your
Webster.
top 4.
Hibbard takes over the spot, Mike, and Webster right back at him in 4.
Battling hard, pushes a little bit too high though, loses some speed.
And there's a checkered flag for Joe Schneider out of St. Germain, Wisconsin. They call him Front Row Joe, and you know why now.
Oh yeah.
So Joe Schneider on the 1 takes the win. With
He was
Hibbard.
followed by Hibbard, Webster, Soren, Gebhard, and Grabowski.
Wow, what a race, Mike.
All advanced to the final in that 600 Outlaw. Heat number 2 for the Outlaw 600s coming your way. Again, 5 laps in this heat race.
We're going to see Ty Webster out of Monroe, Wisconsin. On the outside of him will be the 33XL is James Kern out of Browntown, Wisconsin.
Driver 128 to staging for the LCQ. Driver 128 to staging immediately.
In the second row, we're going to see the 84 of Kyle Schneider from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the 19 of Chris Plasky from St. Germain, Wisconsin. Rounding out the field in the third row will be Ron Thuroff from Lisbon, Iowa. He'll be all alone in the back row.
So they're going to roll them down the back stretch, bring them around through 3 and 4. Keep an eye on Rico as they're coming down.
Again, 600cc powered. These are cockpit-style snowmobiles, seat belt, steering wheels, outside track, ski under the seat. A very unique design. This is a cool, unique class for older drivers for sure.
Green flag's up and we're racing.
There they go.
Good run off the start for the 19 of Pulaski.
Plasky was fast all weekend, Mike, and he's showing it again out there. That sled is really rocking.
The 18 of Webster riding in second, followed by the 3X of Kern.
So Plasky kind of all alone comfortably here, followed by the 18 of Webster and the 3 of Curran. Little bit of follow the leader out there, but Plasky, he will definitely be the one to beat. Man, oh man, is he putting down some laps, Mike.
Again, 5 laps in this heat race. Pulaski with almost a full straightaway there.
The
Ahead of
18
the
is
pack.
struggling a little bit in the corners. He washed up pretty high, but nobody's really close enough to challenge him. Again, Pulaski way out in front now, Mike.
Definitely going to be the one to watch as the final comes.
Little bit of racing now for third place as the 3 and 4 do some battle there.
The 3 pushes a little high there, Kern, but he's able to hold some speed.
Pulaski will take the white flag, so the laundry's out here, Mike. One more to go, and we've got a heat winner.
Just 2 left turns and a checkered flag. Coming for the winner of heat race number 2.
It's Chris Pulaski.
Pulaski. He's followed across second place. Going to go to Ty Webster. Thuroff, Schneider, and Kern round out the field.
Chris Pulaski really showed a dominating run there, Mike. That was pretty impressive for that sled. It should be a good race between him, Schneider, and Hibbard in that final.
It's going to be action-packed, no doubt about it. We're going to be moving on to the Junior 1 F500. This is a heat race with 3 laps. Everybody's moving on to the final.
So again, these are some junior sleds, the F500.
We're going to have the 19 of Carson Furyk, the 722 of Sawyer Pfister, and the 19Z of Lucas Zadroik.
One of the local guys here, Mike. You work with him in the summer at the race car track too, but who's your pick in this one?
Well, I'm going with a 19.
Got to go with the hometown boy here.
I mean, I always have my support behind Lucas, definitely. But Carson Furyk has been super fast. I'm not even going to lie. But I can feel it in the air. Something good is coming for Lucas.
So we've just got word that we're going to change it up. We're going to go to the LCQ for the World Championship class. But first, they're going to run Matt Gady. Matt, is up in the tower with us yesterday, Mike. So he didn't get a chance to see the track. They're going to give Matt a couple test laps here as the pole sitter, and then we'll bring out the LCQ. So right now, you're going to see a 1 sled on the track, and that's our pole sitter, Matt Gady, for the 63rd Annual World Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eye on this guy right here, because I'll tell you what, he is absolute fire out here.
So he's going to run a green-white checker, Matt Gady. Again, yesterday he was up in the booth. He gave us a great interview, Mike. Talked a lot about his strategy, about his team, about his setup. What a true gentleman and ambassador of our sport. Matt Gady on the Skidoo.
Well, it definitely helped him last weekend to come up here, check out the competitors, and be able to see the lines that were developing out on the track and whatnot. But it's a new day. It's a new track. Every day that track changes, like you said. So he's got a good opportunity here to see firsthand what he's starting with today.
Absolutely. And so the pole sitter, Matt Gady, on the track. He's going to get a green-white checker. This will give Matt a chance to check out his sled today, see how it works. He's just taken some probably not full-bore laps, but some good laps to check out the track.
Definitely, you could see a lot of bumps there as he went into turn number 1.
And he's definitely driving it, checking out his sled, seeing how it handles. Sure, he's going to go back and talk to his crew chief, Dale Loritz, and find out, hey, maybe we tweak it here, tweak it there.
Well, when you got somebody like Dale Loritz back there tweaking the sled for you, you know you got one of the best working on that stuff and making sure that everything is ready for the World Championship run.
We talked about that a lot over the weekend, Mike. The teams that have some of the old pro racers, the Wall brothers, in that trailer, Dale Loritz in the Skidoo trailer, Mike Hool in the Gunnar Stern trailer, Troy Pierce, Todd Cricky in the Polaris trailers, Keith Wojciechowski in the DL trailer. I mean, there's all kinds of old racers, I should say retired racers, that are now helping out. Not old. Sorry, guys.
I mean, last weekend we had some 70-year-olds in the master class. I called them the Flying Fossils. Don't get me wrong. Those boys still put it out there, man. They laid it down.
Absolutely. So we're going to bring that LCQ out, Mike. This LCQ is going to put 2 sleds in the back row for the 63rd Annual World Championship. Coming out on the ice is going to be the 04 of Luke Olson from Ishpeming, Michigan, and the 326 of Dustin Schwant out of Fox Lake, Wisconsin. Dustin's on one of the cats in the field. The 22S of Andy Shoemaker. He's one to watch for sure. And the 16 of Preston DeShano out of Auburn, Michigan. How about the 61 of Ezra Grauman? We talked about him on that Hanky sled, the Skidoo, and the 33T of Tyler Foster from Fairgrove, Michigan. 128 is Jordan Siebold. He's on the other Arctic Cat in the field. And the 43 of Chris Holly. The 22 of Ryan Spencer. And Colton Lackeson out of Dafter, Michigan. It rounds out the field in this 10-sled LCQ race. This is going to be a dogfight, Mike.
No doubt it's going to be an absolutely awesome LCQ here as we get ready to find out who's going to be in the back row.
For sure, and Rico's got the flag in hand. The guys are getting staged up in turn 4. The butterflies have got to be flying for these guys. This is their shot to get into that World Championship, Mike.
It's all or nothing.
top 2 drivers are going to transfer, so they're going to be fighting hard. We've got a 7-lap race. It's going to be full go all the way. Coming down is the 04 of Olsen out of Ishpeming, Michigan, with a 326 on that Cat of Schwant. Good to see the Arctic team back out here. The 22S of Shoemaker and the 16 of Deshano Mike on that beautiful pink sled. Then we've got that 61 of Grauman, the 33T of Foster, the 128 also on an Arctic Cat, and then the 43 and the 38. Spencer looks like he's not going to join the field, so Ryan Spencer missing the call. We got 9 sleds in the field. And we've got Rico with the flag in hand here, getting everybody set. You hear the hot buttons push, Mike. They're getting ready to rock.
World Championship LCQ. Are you ready?
Rico looks the field over. You can hear the hot buttons are getting some heat in the pipe. He's checking them over. Here we go. Nodding yes. They're ready to go. Rico's go. Here we go, and it's the 04 of Olsen. Luke Olsen with a great pull to the inside. Luke Olsen out of Ishpeming,
Pushed
Michigan.
kind of high there.
He
lost
sure
some
did.
momentum.
He opened the door for Shoemaker and Schwant. Look at Schwant on that Arctic Cat. Wow, what a bump. Oh, Schwant is off. Schwant went in just a little too hard, Mike, and it threw him off.
Fortunately, he's up on his feet, but that's going to take us to a red flag.
That was a pretty aggressive move by Dustin Schwant for lap 1. He should have maybe been just a hair patient. That one cost him because Dustin did have the speed, Mike. He just got a little too aggressive early there, and that was a pretty tight spot to put his nose into. So Dustin Schwant on the Arctic Cat, he had some great speed down the backstretch, just probably needed to be a little bit patient coming into that corner.
Ultimax Belts by Timken is doing a reverse scavenger hunt. Here's your chance to win a free belt. Go to ultimaxbelts.com and go to the belt finder tool. Enter your year, make, and model of your machine. If it matches the part numbers I read, be the first one to the Ultimax booth and show them, and you're going to win. Snowmobile item number you're looking for, MAX1034M3. Also 1384332U4. XS803. Those are for snowmobiles. For side-by-side, you're looking for UXP480. If you have one of those, get down to the Ultimax belt stand down in the expo hall, and you could be the winner.
So again, we've got the Dustin Schwant Arctic Cat now being towed off by the John Deere Gator. Dustin made a really aggressive dive bomb there in turn 3, and it really bit him. Fortunately, he didn't take anybody else out, but that was a pretty aggressive move early in the race, unfortunately for Dustin. We saw Luke Olsen get the lead, Mike, but he pushed up. If you remember yesterday, he was loose. Matt Gady commented on that Luke was a little loose. He apparently went back to the trailer. Now he maybe has too much track down, and he's pushing a little bit. So
again, as they're over there, only the driver can work on the machine.
That's correct. He can get a tool handed to him, but the driver has to do the repairs. And so they're getting the call back to turn 4, Mike. We're going to go racing here again. These are, of course, the World Championship Formula 3 sleds, which is a stock-bodied sled with a stock motor and then a tuned pipe. According to Matt Gady, somewhere between that 130 to 140 horsepower range. So a very powerful snowmobile here that's set up with some other equipment to make them turn left. And these babies are speedy. Matt talked about a 90, 91 mile an hour down the straightaways here with the Formula 3s. So a very fast buggy.
About how fast are they doing through the corners?
I would say in that mid-80s to high 70s. You know, it's hard to say how they spin them, but they're not slowing down too much.
That is carrying a lot of speed going through those corners, that's for sure.
When you look at the lap times of all these sleds over the weekend, they are getting bound here in a big hurry. So it's the Luke Olson sled again out of Ishpeming on the 04 Polaris, Andy Shoemaker on the 22. The 16, we're going to see Preston DeShano on that beautiful blue and pink sled. And, of course, Grumman on the 61 of the Hankey's team. 33 will be that Tyler Foster sled. And Jordan Siebold, now the only cat in the field, out of Kewanee, Wisconsin. And then they got Holly on the Polaris and Laskinen on a Polaris as well. So let's see what happens here on the restart, Mike.
Again, this is a 7-lap LCQ for the back row of the World Championship.
Rico's got the green out. He's heading to the ice with the point, and they're gone. And it looks like Luke Olson again. Beautiful start for Luke. He's got the trigger finger right there. This time Luke holds it down, but he pushes again, and here comes Shoemaker and Grumman on the skidoo, Mike.
That push high just loses quite a bit of momentum for him. Able to hold it through the center that time. He just wasn't in turn 1 and 2, but he's still in the hunt here. Good battle here for second.
Absolutely. Grumman dropping to the inside now, but now Olson gets a handle on his sled. Andy Schumacher from Michigan in the Myra circuit looking strong here as we go into the next lap. We see Holly push up, and there's a good battle going on here for second place. Inside is going to go Grumman now. Can he get him, Mike?
Looking to the bottom. Doesn't have enough coming off a 2.
Speeds look pretty comparable. We'll see if Grumman's got the handle here on the inside. Schumacher slips up a little bit, causes Olson to move up, and Grumman gets him on the inside.
As they come across the line, Schumacher.
Andy Schumacher now still in the lead. He wants that battle. He wants the win, but here comes Olson back. Olson back now. He's going to try. Oh, Andy Schumacher slips up. Grumman slows up. Here comes Olson again.
Olson able to pull that second spot.
Luke Olson back in second. This is a good dogfight for second place. Second place matters, Mike. That's it. Two
Sneaking
sleds
back
go
underneath as Olson had a bit of a bobble there.
Side by side they go. What a race here for second place, Mike. This is the one that counts. Second place or you're out. Now Luke Olson back in front. Grumman right on his tail.
Grumman looks to the bottom.
What a race we've got. Luke Olson still holding off Grumman, and it's Andy Shoemaker way out in front now.
Olson able to pull away here a little bit.
Nice
Give himself
corner.
some space.
Nice corner by Luke. He's starting to figure it out. But I'll tell you what, Grumman's right there to bite.
White flags out.
It's all or nothing here. Banzai run for Grumman. Can he do it? Luke Olson from Ishpeming. He's the star right now from Michigan.
Two
Let's see
more
if he
left
can do
turns for Schumacher.
Whoa, Luke's off, and it's going to open the door for Grumman. It's a drag race.
Neck and neck.
Whoa, what a call.
Wow.
Luke Olson.
Olson able to sneak out that second place. It was a drag race to the finish.
Wow, what a race we have. And boy, that is Formula 3 racing at its best, Mike.
Andy Schumacher coming away with that top spot, and Luke Olson battling his way into the back row for that second spot in the World Championship.
You can bet Luke Olson put a thumb impression on that handlebar. He squeezed her for all he had, baby.
What a race. What a race.
Mike, they left it all hang out. I feel very bad for Ezra Grumman, but congratulations to Luke Olson on one heck of a drive.
That was absolutely awesome. Awesome to watch.
Wow.
So we're going to be moving on to that Junior 1 F500 heat race. Again, we're going to have the 19 of Carson Furyk from Hassel, Michigan. The 722 of Sawyer Fitzer from London Station, Wisconsin. And the 19Z from right here in Eagle River, Lucas Zadroik.
How about that Eagle River boy coming out? But I'll tell you what, Mike, I need a breath after that one. Holy cow.
Absolutely. That was absolutely edge of your seat racing action.
90-plus miles an hour down the straightaways, throwing it in there sideways. These guys are driving for everything they got. They wanted that spot. And Luke Olson and Andy Shoemaker, congratulations on being in the 63rd Annual World's Championship Snowmobile Derby.
We're the only track in the world that crowns a world champion.
You said it well, Mike. The World's Championship here in Eagle River. And these youngsters now coming out, we're going to see some more good racing. Don't be surprised how these kids drive. If you get a chance, check out the little track to our left of the north here of the booth, Mike. There's some unbelievable kitty cat racing going on.
The future of racing right there at the north end of the World Championship Derby Complex.
Absolutely, and we've got a shout out to the Solon family from Antigo. Friends of mine for a long, long time, and they're out there playing this weekend. I can hope they can do some work there for the boys from Antigo.
Best of luck to them and all the teams that are competing this weekend.
You bet. And look at that number 19 sled. What a beautiful sled there is. And then the 19Z, he's got a little bit of an aerodynamic looking hood. Brings me back to the memories of the old Scorpion Snow Pro from the 80s.
This is going to be a good battle here in this F500 heat race. 3 laps here. Rico eyes the field. Green flag up. Carson Furyk with the hole shot. He's going to be the first one into turn number 1.
And that Furyk name is very, very common here at the Eagle River Derby
Fitzer
track.
Able to sneak past him around the outside. Going to pour on the speed down the backstretch.
Yes, sir. And these are the F500 sleds. This was a class designed by John Hooper, and basically a Polaris Indy chassis with limits on carbide and limits to the traction on the sleds. They have a 500cc stock motor, so not much you can do, but a great, great class to learn how to ice oval race in a safe format.
Working their way through turn 3 and 4, coming down to take the white flag is 722 of Sawyer Fitzer.
Fitzer looking good there. He's got Furyk there, though, a little bobble like we saw in the Formula 3. One little bobble, and this lead can change in a hurry, Mike.
Absolutely. 2 left turns coming down to the checkered flag.
And you're going to see a checkered flag here for the number 722.
And the 19Z of Lucas Zadroik. Moving on to Junior 2 in the F500. This is a heat race. Again, for 3 laps, everybody's moving on to the final. We have 8 sleds slated to take the green flag.
And this will be a little bit older drivers now, Mike, a little bit more mature racers, and you're going to see probably a little quicker lap times now. We're going to see the 24 of Brody Bartnum from Champion, Michigan. The 29 of Oliver Davis. We've watched him a lot this weekend from Stevens Point. And Waylon Corpita from Wausau, Wisconsin. Of course, the 26 of Evan McCaig out of Gettsville, Michigan. He's got to be, I'm sure, somewhat related to the qualifier in Formula, or the racer in Formula 3, McCaig, right? And then the 86 of Austin Minta from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. The 43 of Carson Peterson from Lancaster, Minnesota, and Marley Peterson from Lancaster, Minnesota on the 44, and rounding out the field to be Oliver Pfister. So Oliver, again, 2 classes.
This is going to be a good battle in this Junior 500. This is Junior 2 500, race 3 on the docket for today.
So again, the Formula 500 class was designed as a spec class, similar to what IMCA modified car would be. There's a lot of rules that tried to keep the cost down, Mike. It's an older Polaris Indy chassis. Polaris built a lot of those chassis over the years, very similar. So there's a lot of them out there that you can acquire pretty cheaply. Add some of the oval racing parts to it, and boom, you go oval racing.
It's a great place for people to start. It's a great way to get into the sport and be able to be competitive out there and learn, cut your teeth in this great sport.
Absolutely, and we'll see those folks coming out here shortly. Big shout out to our friends from FloRacing. Talking to those guys this morning, those are some hard-working people, Mike.
Hey, they put out the best coverage on Flow anywhere in the country.
Absolutely, and also a big shout-out to my buddy Andre from Bonsai Production, doing a lot of the racing interviews over the weekend in the trailers, in the pits, really giving us an inside view there. So thank you to Andre from Bonsai as well. We've got some great people here working to make this show happen.
Absolutely. Great photos from Speed Shots. They do some great work. Also, Castle Creation out there on the grounds doing some great photos.
You bet. There's just a lot of coverage here. And again, what better place to be today than the Eagle's Nest at the Eagle River World Champion, Mike?
Oh, baby, we got the best seat in the house.
Absolutely. And thank everybody for letting us be here and talking to you online and here on the grounds. What a privilege to be up here and doing this coverage for everybody.
Well, the privilege is definitely mine. I got called in at the last moment, and having somebody like you that knows so much about this sport and whatnot, as myself not knowing really anything about racing, snowmobile racing whatsoever, I get to come up here, and I'm just the lucky one that gets to step in and be here, and thank you for taking the reins and showing me the way along this great weekend of racing here at the 63rd World Championship.
Well, I certainly appreciate the compliment, Mike, and it's my pleasure to be up here with you guys and sharing some of the history that I know from all the years. This is my 50th year of consecutive coming to the Eagle River Derby. Had the opportunity to race here as a professional racer back in the day and certainly enjoyed those times as well.
Well, as you know, Derby week is always especially cold here in Eagle River. It's about 7 degrees out there. And it feels about -6.
It absolutely does. But we've got a good day for horsepower. These colder days help those snowmobiles run very well, and we're going to see some high-speed action again here as more sleds come to the ice.
Kids battling hard down there on the mini track. Be sure to stop down, check it out, cheer those kids on. That's the future of snowmobile racing over there.
So we've got the sleds coming down out of the paddock, Mike. That's always a good sign that we're going to go racing again.
Junior 2 F500. 8 sleds set to take the green flag here for this 3-lap heat race. And everybody advances to the final.
Again, I want to point out that these sleds are all stock Polaris Indy-based chassis, but take a look at the different hoods out there. We've got some of the old-looking Polaris RXL hoods. We've got some of the newer type Champ 440 hoods. We've even got a few stock hoods. So a little bit of everything to make those sleds look just a little different and have a little personality to them.
Definitely a very, very cool class, seeing some of the different looks that they have out there.
I'm very fond of those big bubble window scorpion-looking sleds. That's my brand, Mike.
Brings back some nostalgia, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But we're going to watch some good racing here now in the junior F500 class, and some good racing all weekend from these kids. They are really aggressive riders.
Rico calls them down to the line.
So again, we're going to see the number 24 of Bartonham from Champion, Michigan, Oliver Davis out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Waylon Corpita. Love that name, Waylon. 626. And how about the 26 of Evan McKeag? The 86 of Austin Minta from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. And the 43, Carson Peterson from Lancaster, Minnesota. Marley Peterson, Lancaster. I'm assuming those are sisters. And the 922 of Oliver Pfister.
Marley's rocking that bright pink sled.
We've got the 26. Looks like Evan McKeag is having some problems with his sled. He says he's a no-go and on the 2-minute clock.
Pulls his tether. Unfortunately, we're going to need a tow sled.
Evan McKigg looks like he's going to give it up on his sled, and he will not start. So Rico is going to send him back up to the north turn and let him restage. One of the things they do here, Mike, to send them back is on a two-stroke motor, if you let them sit and idle a while, sometimes they'll build up and get boggy on the takeoff. So this allows the drivers to clear that motor out, keep the fuel fresh coming through the carburetors, not let everything build up and get a boggy sled on the start-finish line.
They just run them around like Shriner cars up there for a little bit.
Little bit, yep. They'll give them when you watch them come down to Rigo, they're going to give them a full throttle, clean out that exhaust, get those sleds some fresh fuel, and get them ready to rock and roll. So Evan McKigg, he'll be heading up to the John Deere Gator here, and they're going to probably load him up in just a second. So they're going to try and help him here, start his sled. They're trying to help Evan get that Polaris running. We'll see if he can get her going.
Clock has expired. It's over.
Unfortunately, the 2-minute clock for what he needed to do has already expired, so he was unable to get her started, and he's going to be out of this F500 heat race.
So Evan McKigg out of Gettsville, Michigan, he's going to get a ride in the Gator, and that is not where he wanted to be this Sunday morning. Evan is clearly unhappy with that machine right now, Mike.
So Rico's going to call him back on down to the line as we get the sled cleared from the front stretch.
They've cleaned it out. We've got Carson Peterson here to the outside on that blue bubble-hooded sled.
Oliver Davis taking the inside lane.
Davis has been fast all weekend. Look for Davis, I think, to be one of the contenders here, Mike, for sure. He's had a lot of laps out there.
Track is clear. Riders are under starter's order. Green flag up and we're racing. Good hole shot there for Davis going down into turn number 1 and 2. He's going to hold some speed coming out of 2 and leading into 3 and 4.
So Davis to the lead.
Good challenge here for second between the 95 and the 24.
Oliver Davis from Stevens Point.
As they come across the line for the white flag, Oliver Davis, followed by Minta, Bartonen, Corpetta, Pfister, Peterson, rounding out the field. Coming around out of turn number 4. Bringing it down to the checkered flag. That's the 29 of Oliver Davis.
Good run for Davis there.
The 86 of Menta taking second. The 24 of Bartonen, followed by Carson Peterson, Waylon Corpetta, Oliver Pfister, and Marley Peterson.
Good run there. We've been pronouncing the McKigg wrong all weekend, by the way.
You know, I want to go ahead and apologize to anybody and everybody whose name I've murdered this weekend, because I know I've murdered more than one of them.
Me too. Thank you, Chris Riley, for the correction. It's Macieg. So Macieg, and we'll correct that the rest of the day. Thank you
I'm just going to go out there. It's just like Matt Goede. You look at his name, it's spelled Goede. I want to say Goede.
A lot of people have. And
But Matt Gady, he's a great competitor. He's going to be hard to beat, I'm telling you, here in this World Championship. Yeah, it's definitely a whole new world, I'm finding out, being up here in the Eagle's Nest, being fortunate enough to be the one who gets to run my mouth all weekend long here. And again, I want to apologize to anybody whose name I've murdered, because I know I've murdered a lot of them, and I do apologize.
Certainly, and again, we are just privileged to have the opportunity to work together, Mike, up here and do this job last minute, but we're happy to be here, and I'm having an absolute ball. If you're hearing us out on Flow, shoot us a message. We'll try to say hello to you, and enjoy the races today here at the 63rd Annual World Championship Snowmobile Derby, Mike.
Your Fan Cool 440s coming to the track next. A 5-lap final here for these. We got 6 sleds coming out to take the green flag in this 440 Fan Cool final. I'm sorry, 5 sleds.
The 140 of Richard Strand from Ironwood, Michigan is a scratch here. So we're going to have 5 sleds in this class, the 440 Fan Cool.
We got the 707 of James Clark from Houghton, Michigan. The 02 of Michael Favorite from right here in Eagle River. The 686 of Jonathan Proctor. He's from Trufant, Michigan. Braden Sand, he's from Merrill, Wisconsin on the 34. The 23X of Jim Ream from Clintonville.
Yes, sir, and these little 440 fanners get up and go. We got another one here in the line, Mike. I'm not sure what's going on with these guys today, but the gremlins seem to be biting.
Able to get the 34 running there with Sand. Green flag's up and we're racing. Big wheelie there for the 686 of Proctor.
Yeah, he had a nice hole shot going through the corner. Let's see if he can hold that lead now.
Pushed a little high.
These are very, very close. They're all 440 Polarises out there, so they're going to run very close, Mike. It's going to be a driver's race here today.
Good battle as they come off of turn number 4.
Yes, sir, and the 02 of Michael Favorite from right here in Eagle River.
Followed by the 707 of Clark.
What a great racing name, Michael Favorite. Everybody's favorite. Mike Favorite in the lead, followed by the, what's that number there, Mike?
The 707.
So the 707, Michael Favorite in the lead, and the 707 of James Clark.
Followed by Proctor, Reamy, and Sand.
So Clark to the outside now.
Look
Clark
at this challenge off of 2.
Great move there by James Clark. And James comes from the Houghton area where Gary Moyle, the Marietta family, a lot of good oval racers over the years come from the Houghton, Michigan area.
It's really throwing it off the side of the sled there as they go through the turn.
What a race we have here for first place. This is a good battle, Mike. Looks like the 707 now. Clark has a little bit of breathing room, but Favorite's right there if he hiccup at all.
One little bobble and Favor will be there. Laundry coming out for the 707 of James Clark.
So the white flag is out. James just got to hold him off here. James out of Houghton, Michigan, but Favorite right there, the local boy from Eagle River.
2 left turns as he comes around looking for the green flag from Rico.
We got a checkered out for James Clark out of Houghton, Michigan. He's going to take the
Checkered
checker.
flag, followed by Michael Favorite.
686 will come across third, Jonathan Proctor.
Followed by the 23X of Reamy. And Sand going to be filling out the field. Working his way back around into the Ultimax Belts by Timken winner circle. He made the trip down from the Keweenaw.
He sure did. They're going to direct him back over to the winner's circle there. There's a little trail they go through, Mike, to get over there by the Ultimax winner's circle. Again,
Overshot just a little bit.
thank Ultimax for all the support they give us here at the World Championship Derby.
Be sure to stop down to the Expo Hall and check them out. From Houghton, Michigan, the 707 of James Clark.
How about that? A world champion in F440 from Houghton, Michigan. Keeps that Houghton, Michigan spirit alive. Congratulations to James Clark.
So we're going to be moving on to race number 5 on the race schedule. After a groom, race number 5 is going to be the next on the docket. We're going to go to a groom break here, so hey, get on down to the Last Lap Saloon, get yourself a Bloody Mary, and bring a buddy.
Absolutely, Mike. Some really good racing here. We're still waiting for some updates on Jocelyn Rathke, and we'll get those to everybody here and on Flo as soon as we hear more on her condition. But big hello to everybody out there today listening to us. My good buddy Mike Venema, old Formula 3 mechanic, living in North Carolina now. Not sure why Mike would want to miss this, but I guess the beach is better than the snow for him.
I mean, I'm dying for a little sand in my toes when it's so cold myself, but hey, we are where we are, and you make hay when sun shines. So we're going to continue on with enjoying the 63rd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. But while we're at a plow break, be sure to direct your attention down there to those awesome case equipment end loaders and Bobcats. Great big thank you to them helping us to make this an absolutely awesome racing service. Great big thank you to Eagle Auto Group down there. You see those Ford trucks and those Western plows on the front of them. These great volunteers helping us to bring you the best race surface we can bring you.
Yes, sir. And this, again, this track has been holding up phenomenal, Mike. We've been blessed with some wonderful weather. The crew that Craig and the volunteers do here to put down the water and keep this track in the condition it is. Wow, what an amazing weekend we've had. For all the fans watching today, you can see the dye in the ice, the blue dye that's added to the water. That helps these drivers out immensely on the track and gives them some good visibility for this track. Of course, it looks pretty awesome, too, from up here, but what an amazing place, Mike.
Absolutely. And, hey, if you're on the grounds, you can take part in the reverse scavenger hunt here by Ultimax Belts by Timken. Still looking for a couple winners. You have your chance to win a free belt from Ultimax. Just go to ultimaxbelts.com. Go to the belt finder and enter your year, make, and model of your snowmobile. If your snowmobile is, the part number is MAX 103 4M3 or 1384332U4. Stop on down to the Ultimax Belts stand and you could win your very own Ultimax belt. Ultimax Belts by Timken is proud to sponsor the 63rd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Visit Ultimax Belts down in the Exmo Hall and see the next level in snowmobile drive belts. On the derby track or on the trail, you can depend on Ultimax Belts. Performance driven, performance proven. Ultimax Belts.
So we continue to groom the track here at the Eagle River Derby track, Mike, and talking again about the history of this place and some of the great racing that's happened over the years. There has been a lot of world champions crowned and a lot of drivers have become famous because of this place. I'm sure there's some drivers here in the crowd. This morning I ran into Doug and Gene Hayes, the Hayes brothers out of Crandon, Wisconsin, who certainly are well-known names in our racing community. Doug Hayes is one of the Hall of Fame, on the wall at the Hall of Fame as a Hall of Fame driver, and Doug performed many years out here with the Team Bombardier Factory Squad, and then in '79 on the AN-powered Polaris out here. So some very famous people walking around the grounds. If you get to run into those guys, don't hesitate to talk to them. They will talk to you. They're very approachable and very great people to talk to.
Absolutely. One of the coolest things about this track is the fact that you get the opportunity to go into the pits and you can check out these race trailers and race teams down in the pit area.
Absolutely. And for everybody that's here, most of the drivers, I've been in a lot of the trailers this weekend interviewing drivers, they all have speed cards, autograph cards, stickers. Don't be afraid to go up there and see them. Obviously, if they're busy working, you don't want to bother them, but there's a time and a place. If you get over there, make sure you ask for one of those speed cards and an autograph. The drivers like to give them away, and they like to sign them.
Absolutely. They do spend a lot of time meeting with a lot of fans throughout the weekend, and it's so great to see that so many of the guys and gals, take that time to appreciate the fans and take their time to talk with them.
Absolutely, and I can tell you from my days in racing, what a cool experience it was when a young child would come up and want to sit on your race sled, ask you a question or two about your sled, come in the trailer with their eyes wide open. I was that kid once at 8 years old when my dad brought me here, Mike, and then had the chance to race here with some really, really cool. In fact, many of my heroes, Leroy Lindblad, Larry Rugland, Bert Bassett, those were the guys building my equipment. How lucky am I?
That is so cool, man. And for somebody that has been coming up here for 50 years, you've seen a lot of changes through this program.
Absolutely, and the fact that the continue we've seen over the years, we've seen the leaf spring sleds go to the IFS sleds in the early mid 70s when Polaris and the Midnight Blue Express, and of course before that the Skirule with its innovative front end, and which really propelled the industry into IFS, and that became the standard for many years. Then Ski-Doo introduced the twin track sleds. That Formula One class became a very popular sport.
For a long time, that was the World Championship here.
Absolutely, and then we had the Formula 3 sleds, which I had the opportunity to race in that class here at the Derby, and then that class turned into the Champ 440 class. We brought that into play. So there's been a lot of different World Championship classes over the year, but always the World Championship, Mike.
We're the only track in the world that crowns a world champion.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, you can win anywhere, but if you win at Eagle River, it's the granddaddy, it's the race to win for these drivers in sprint racing, much like the Sioux for the enduro racers. That's their big Super Bowl, if you will. Here for sprint racing, Eagle River is the race to win.
What a great event here put on by the World Championship Derby Complex. And so many great sponsors like FloRacing and Diva Snow Gear for their absolutely awesome winter apparel. Trigg Smokehouse for some of that world-famous food. King's Quarry, Wild Eagle Lodge, Dean Distributing, Truck Center of Rhinelander, Eagle Country RV, Mountain Dew, Elevated Docks and Lifts, and Ultimax Belts by Timken.
Great job, Mike. And again, talking about the Derby track here, don't forget, if you've ever wanted to try your hand at driving around the Derby track, Mike, you can do it now. We have an event here on Sunday of the weekend with the Ride with the Champs called Legend Laps. For a $250 donation to the Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame, we're going to have sleds available for you to jump on, ready to go around the track. We'll have a helmet. We'll have a tech vest. Or if you have a sled you want to bring, you can bring your own. But this is an opportunity for people to come take a lap or two around this track. You actually get 3 or 4 different lapping sessions. Try your hand at it, see what it's like. We'll have a few professional guys here like Chris and Josh Pekka from the Vintage World. They're bringing some equipment. We've got some guys over from Rhinelander. My buddy Brian Shenik, he's going to be coming over. Timmy Palabicki's father, he's going to bring a sled over. So we're going to have some good equipment here, and this will be a great time. If you've ever dreamed of getting out on this derby track, no more excuses, Mike.
What an awesome, awesome opportunity.
Absolutely, and the money benefits, of course, the Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame, which if you've never been there, it's 12 miles to the west here in St. Germain, Wisconsin. What a beautiful facility. The sleds that are in there are iconic. There's a lot of history there. If you have a question on a sled or you want to see a picture, they've got an archive, Mike, an archive of almost every snow week available to man. Some of the old racer buddies like Brett Nordine, my buddy Brett, donated all of his magazines to the Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. So if you want to see how an old sled looked or read an article, we have a beautiful library there. You can bring a pizza, bring your family, have lunch, and enjoy the racing history, Mike.
What an amazing museum dedicated to the sport of snowmobiling.
Absolutely, and for these drivers out here today, many of these guys at some point in their life may get inducted into the Hall of Fame, Mike.
There's no doubt we got a lot of guys on the ground here that will definitely be in that Racing Hall of Fame.
We talked to one yesterday.
100% he's going to be there. I mean, he's a 6-time world vintage champion. What is it, 2 times, 3 times here? 2 times for the world championship. I mean, there's no doubt he's going to be one of those guys that has his name on that wall.
Absolutely, Mike. And so make sure you spend some time in the area here at Eagle River. There's many, many things to do. Of course, visit all the local restaurants. Enjoy the trails up here in Eagle River. We've been blessed with the white gold called snow. The trails look phenomenal. When I drove into the track this morning, it just, wow, things are really looking
There
up.
are miles of trails up here for you to enjoy on your snowmobiles, and there are tons of bars and restaurants in between for you to stop at. Great, great options out there for different food styles and, just some really cool bars around here in the area to stop in and enjoy your time while you're here in Eagle River.
Absolutely, Mike, and again, we talk about all the different things going on here. Again, the World Championship today is the Formula 3 sleds, which we talked about earlier being a stock-bodied sled with a stock motor and then modifications made to the rail and the skis to get those sleds around the corner. And, that development over the years had come from the speed shops back in the day. We had the Black Magic team for Arctic Cat. We had the Pro 5 team for Polaris. We had the Deckers from Decker Racing, and also Gerard and Dave Karpik out at Fast in Minnesota. We had A&N Performance. We had PSI, and all those guys were building equipment. So that was the start of the Formula 3 heart and that stock-based chassis. Again, like we talked, the Twin Trackers at one time, they were the elite sleds and certainly super fun to watch. Unfortunately, over time, Skidoo didn't build them anymore. They ran a cleated track, which is not allowed anymore by the rules. So they just became a somewhat antiquated to what we do today, and time moves on, Mike.
Definitely, but the new stuff that they have come out with is so technologically advanced. The mapping that they do with these motors and, all these things that they do. These guys, they're not just some local yokel that's in the garage. These are real technical mechanics.
Absolutely, and as Matt Gady explained to us yesterday, the Champ 440 sled run the 34 millimeter Mikuni carburetor, whereas the Formula 3 sleds now are working with fuel injection. So that's a development that actually, Mike, happened during the early 90s. I believe one of the very first drivers was Steve Houle from the Pro 5 team that I was involved with. He ran a reversed engine, pipes under the seat sled, and that had the one of the first modified fuel injections. By the way, that's how the name Hot Seat Racing became part of the world, which is now part of Speedworks over in Minnesota with the Houle family. But some good history there from some of the teams. And, of course, his brother Mike Houle still working with Gunnar Stern.
As I said, you're like the professor. You have so much knowledge wrapped up. Your snowmobile knowledge is unprecedented. And I thank you for being the one that's here with me because, man, you are just a wealth of knowledge, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that, Mike. It's been one of my passions, of course, and I enjoy sharing that history because there's so much of it. And, my mechanic over the years, Denny Van Owen, he was part of the Polaris, the Sparky Meyer team. So I had the advantage of a guy knowing the inside there, and I wish Denny and his family all the best there in Anigo. Denny's struggling a little bit this time, and wish him all the best. But what an opportunity I did have, to be part of this and be part of the USSA circuit, back then. I mean, Mike, back then we had 10 or 12 races. It was an incredible time to be a racer, and I was fortunate to be part of that. Won the Rookie of the Year in 1991, which was an incredible, at that time they gave away a trailer and a lot of money. I mean, I was on cloud nine, and I hope that someday snowmobile racing will get back to that level, Mike.
I do too. It'd be great to see racing across the board starting to get back to that level. I know, for so many of these guys, it's just a passion for them. It's a hole that they're throwing money in, really. I mean, these guys, they put their whole life and passion into their racing, and it'd be great to see us start getting back to seeing more money coming in for these guys, more sponsorships available, and them being able to really get enough to really support them through their season.
Absolutely, and we've got our track owner, Craig Marchbank, unprecedented wins, one of the longest sponsored drivers ever in Skidoo racing history, owns this Derby track, sits over in that building across from us directing this race. What a dedicated man to this sport, So kudos to Craig and Helen, Tom Anderson for making this all happen and keeping this thing alive for all of us to come and have fun at.
Absolutely. Thank you, Craig, for such an amazing complex here. And I met Helen the other day. Absolutely lovely woman. She is just the sweetest lady.
Absolutely. So we're getting some sleds now back in the paddock area, Mike. They're getting the track cleaned off and ready to go. We talked a little bit about the receivers in the helmet and how the guys standing to my right here, they're communicating from the tower. These guys, I think Jeff has eyes in the back of his head. He sees the wrecks quicker than anybody.
Yeah, he's on it, man. These guys, they are top-notch. Definitely some of the best at what they do.
We've got a great perch up here, and again, these guys communicate well. The receiver is in the driver's helmet, so Jeff up here can communicate, tells him which order to come in, instructs him on things if they need to be corrected on. Unfortunately, they can't talk back to Jeff. He's got a big stick up here, Mike.
Hey, don't forget to stop and see Jeff's wife, Vicky, down in the Last Lap Saloon. She's making Bloody Marys, baby. Get down there and see her. She's got all types of delicious adult beverages available for you on your World Championship Sunday.
You bet. Shout out to Jeff here. Jeff, one word. Can you give us a little bit here on how you see all this action so easily on the track? Is it years of experience?
One word? Winning.
All right. That's all Jeff's got to say, but what a class act up here. And Jeff, like I said, he's got eyes in the back of his head. He sees this stuff before it happens. So kudos to him and all the guys girls that are working here at the racetrack to make this happen. Absolutely, Brad, and scoring too. Brad running the scoring for Mike and I. We have the papers on our desk. Our job is easy. These guys are shuffling paperwork, getting the scoring together, and working with the transponders. It's an amazing amount of work. I posted a little video for all of our fans out there this morning on Facebook. You can check out and kind of see the back room here. But we've got a lot of guys involved in cameras around the track and our you bet. Matt from Flo, it's unbelievable, Mike.
There are nothing but great volunteers all around the grounds here at the World Championship Derby Complex. And I want to personally thank each and every one of these amazing volunteers. When you see them, folks, please thank them for being out here and helping us to bring you this amazing event all weekend long. Volunteers, thank you.
Also, Mike, we sure appreciate all the equipment that's out here. I mean, what an amazing amount of vehicles that are here to help us prep this racetrack. And, wow, these guys are doing a fantastic job keeping this track as smooth as possible.
Yeah, that group of guys that's down there doing the plowing and brushing of the track, they're doing absolutely amazing, giving us such a beautiful race surface all weekend long here. They do top-notch work, and hats off to all you gentlemen.
So the Pro 500 or the 500 F500, you're going to see some pretty speedy characters out here. Austin Graber, again, he's going to be on the 965, Mike. The 288 Max Piscula. Max is one fast character, and if you know Max, him and his brother build a lot of this stuff themselves. They're pretty mechanical kids and really nice guys. Of course, we got the number 10, the Meyer Missile from Michigami, Michigan.
Going to be a top
brother,
competitor.
Benjamin Meyer from Michigami.
They are going to be tough competitors for sure.
Absolutely. So the Meyer Missiles and their dad, we call him the Missile Commander. The 99 of Connor Bauman, he's going to come out of Mosinee, Wisconsin. And the 02, Michael Favorite again. We're going to see
right
him from
here
Eagle
from
River.
Eagle River.
How about the 3X of Danik Lambert from Sorel Tracy, Quebec. And the 686, Jonathan Proctor from Trufant, Michigan. The 33T of Tyler Foster from Fairgrove. And rounding out the field, the Mad Cat from Merrill, Wisconsin, Marcus Catlin.
This is going to be an action-packed 5-lap final in the F500 class. This is race number 5 on the race docket. Now, folks, you may hear me say that's race number 5, and you may be misunderstood. I've done more racing than 5 races. Yes, we may have. But we keep track of things, and we got to make sure to keep those numbers correct.
This is going to be a heck of a race. Piscula, Catlin, the Meyer Missiles. I mean, there is some talent in there. And then you bring in Danik Lambert from Quebec. He's a real rock star, too.
Lambert, our only Canadian in the field here, taking on some Michigan and Wisconsin and a Minnesota driver.
Absolutely, and Danik comes all the way from Sorel Tracy, Quebec, which is north of Valcourt, where the Skidoo snowmobiles are made. So he comes a long way, and I believe he was here last weekend also for the vintage race. So they've spent a fair amount of time here in the U.S. They might even go over to Wausau, I'm guessing, for the next weekend's race.
So track preps are completed. And we're going to get back underway.
Always fun to see these guys come down from the paddock, Mike. That's when you know things are going to get serious.
Well, and you know some of them got to have those butterflies going in the stomach as they come down onto the World Championship ice.
No doubt. No doubt at all. They're racing for a World Championship here, and this is going to get serious. And, you know, the thing about the Formula 500 class, Mike, is there's a lot of parity out there. John Hooper, when he had this class devised in his head, one of the big things that he wanted was a class that was competitive, affordable, and something that was safe for a guy that's just getting started. And so this class will give you some serious speed, Obviously not Formula 3 or Champ 440 speed, but to get the feel of that very aggressive snowmobile. A race sled like these, it's quite a bit different to drive than a trail sled, and so the handlebars are much, twitchier. They're very aggressive on the front end. You can't really relax out there. You relax for a minute, and it's going to put you on your head real quick.
There's no doubt that these guys and gals have to be very physically fit to muscle these machines through the corners.
Absolutely, Mike. Every time they come around the corner, they're laying their body off the sled. Then they have to physically pull them back up. The curved handlebar helps. The bent handlebar that comes around kind of to their right hand, it's bent so they can hold off when they're leaning off. Everything on that sled is designed ergonomically for that driver to get back on the seat. And then, while they're doing that, simultaneously pushing the throttle to wide open, right to the bar, and holding on tight. And the forces, the G-forces, are trying to push you back. That's why the hump on the seat and the way those seats are designed. Everything is designed for the ergonomic of the driver to get around this racetrack.
We have 10 drivers slated to take the green flag here in this F500 final.
Patiently waiting here in the Eagle's Nest as we wait for those guys to come down on the ice. Very excited to watch this F500 class take hold.
Ultimax Belts by Timken is a proud sponsor of the 63rd World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Visit the Ultimax Belt booth down in the Expo Hall to see the next level in snowmobile drive belts. Yeah. On the derby track or on the trail, you can depend on Ultimax belts. Performance driven, performance proven, Ultimax belts.
So here they come down. Mad Cat, the number 7, Marcus Catlin out of Merrill, and out there on that 288, Max Piscula. Those guys are buddies for sure. They run the off-road series together too, Mike. So it's kind of fun to have your buddy out there racing with you. I'm not sure if they're friendly competitors, unfriendly competitors, but either way, they're out there together, and I'm sure they're going to have some fun.
I'm sure a lot of these drivers see each other week in and week out.
Absolutely.
Across the circuit.
Absolutely they do. And, of course, the Meyer missiles on those beautiful Polarises with the vintage-looking RXL hoods from the 77, 78 era of the Polaris RXL.
They are very cool.
Absolutely. Catlin has the bubble hood with the bright number 7 on it. That's out of Merrill, Wisconsin. Of course, Tyler Foster on the 33 out of Fairgrove, Michigan. Danik Lambert on the 3. He's out of Sorel, Tracy, Quebec, Canada.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of like that PBR hood.
Hey, that PBR, the 686 of Jonathan Proctor. But you gotta look at the Meyer missiles. Those two have been rockets all weekend long, Mike.
Absolutely, they have. They are going to be tough competitors here in this F500 final. 5 laps to go here.
Max Piscula, he's on the inside. Max is definitely one of the guys to beat. He was fast last week. He's fast again here this weekend. And, of course, Marcus Catlin on the 7 out of Merrill. He's been fast. Definitely one of the guys to beat, so let's see what happens here.
Riders are under starters' orders. Rico eyes the field.
Here we go. Rico's got it going across the field. He points her down, and green we go. And it looks like Derek Meyer, the Meyer missile, shot right out of a cannon. He drops to the inside, cut off Piscula. Now out to the outside. We've got a 3-way battle down the backstretch, Mike.
Going into turn number 3.
It's Max Piscula to the front, but on the outside, we've got the 965 of Graber to the lead. Now Piscula drops to the inside. Max fighting back, and looks like the Meyer missile's moving backwards, Mike.
He's right there with him, though, as he comes into turn number 3. Good challenge there. Neck and
we
neck
got
coming
one
off
down.
a 3. Ryder off in turn number 4.
That's the 33T of Tyler Foster from Fairgrove, Michigan. He's off in 4. He just caught a rut and flipped him up on the high side.
Looks to be okay on his feet, and it just tossed him off the sled there. Should be okay, should be able to continue, it looks like. Hopefully nothing's broke, but we're still going to get him checked out and whatnot. Real quick, everybody stops up by the paddock, and we're going to get him moved back around.
So the
give him a quick look.
He'll get a quick look over, Mike, and they're going to keep this show rolling.
Everybody's headed back up into turn number 4.
Max Piscula and Graber.
So we're going to go to a staggered start here. 4 laps to go. The 965 of Graber going to come down with the first spot, followed by the 288 of Piscula, the 10 of Derek Meyer, followed by the 99 of Bowman, the 11 of Benjamin Meyer, the 3X of Lambert, the 7 of Catlin, the 686, of Proctor, the number 2 of Michael Favorite, and rounding out the field, the number 33T of Tyler Foster.
So here we go again with a good field of riders here, and these guys are getting it after it right out there, Mike. And you saw the battles; they're very close in parity on these sleds. And watch on this hole shot to see if Derek Meyer can pull another hole shot.
Rico eyes the field. Green flag's up.
Well, everybody pretty even that time. The leader got where he wanted, but Piscula goes to the outside. Now Meyer trying to work on the inside of Max, but doesn't get it done. So we've got Graber, Piscula, Meyer, 1, 2, 3. A lot of racing going on in the back there, side by side for a couple of them. Lambert and Catlin fighting it, and we got a big battle for the back spot.
Cleanly coming out of 2 is your leader, Graber.
Graber and Piscula now checking out. Max, I predict he's going to go aggressive here right now. He's pushing a little bit. Not sure if he's got it.
Good battle for third here as they come down to the line, looking to challenge, and he's going to get them as they come across the line. Is Bowman.
So Tyler Foster, second red flag. Tyler Foster down again in turn 4, and that's going to take him out of the field. After 2 red flags, you're done, Mike. So he is out.
Unfortunately for him, his day is over here.
So Tyler Foster will get taken out.
So actually, as they came across the line here the last time, Graber came across first, followed by Piscula. Meyer actually inched out Bowman, and then Bowman got the pass there just shortly after. Red flag was called, though, as they were headed up into turn 1 and 2.
You are ended of the race. To the paddock, your day is done.
Unfortunately, again, for the 33 T of Tyler Foster, the day is over because he had 2 red flags called against him.
So Tyler Foster, his day is done here in the F500 class. That's too bad for Tyler. These guys work hard to get here, Mike, and that's a hard way to end your weekend.
Yeah, he's got a long trip back to Fairgrove, Michigan, but we're glad that he came out and joined us here at the 63rd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Thank you for coming and competing with us here.
Absolutely. So Rico's going to get him staged up here in a staggered start. Got some good battles in the front there. Max Piscula, he's got another gift here to try and get around our leader, Graber.
2 laps to go. 2 laps.
Derek Meyer was very close on that run coming off the hole shot. He was very close coming into, on that hole shot going into second there into the turn number 1.
Absolutely.
So hopefully for him, he can get a good hole shot here again and find his way up, and we'll have a good dogfight out there for the lead.
Absolutely, and you got Austin Graber there. He's just got to be counting the laps going, come on, guys. He's got the lead. He can taste the win, Mike, but you've got that dog Max Piscula, and Max is an aggressive rider. And then, of course, the Meyer missiles right there. But, Derek, they look like they're off on speed today. I think it's a race between the two front runners, Graber and Piscula.
It is, but anything can happen on a restart.
Good point, Mike. We've got Rico with flag in hand here. We're going to watch this one go green with Rico checking him out. Drivers are ready. Everybody's revving their motors. Flag on the ice, and we're green. Whoa, and a good call there by Meyer. Meyer, he's going to stick his nose back in this game. Mike, look at Derek Meyer. Don't ever count the missile out, but they get underneath him now. The 99 underneath Meyer.
But now he's got his brother right on his back door.
You bet.
That
Graber
could be beneficial to him.
Graber out front with Piscula. Graber's got this. The laundry's out for the white flag, Mike. Here we go. It's Graber in the lead. Austin Graber. He's got 2 turns to go, Mike, and he's a world champion. Max Piscula, though. Max is not going to let up. Max dive bombs him, but doesn't have it. This one's going to go to Graber.
As they come across the line, Graber, followed by Piscula, Bowman, Meyer, Derek Meyer, followed by Benjamin Meyer, Lambert, Catlin, Proctor, and Michael Favorite.
Good race, and congratulations to Austin Graber from Clear Lake, Minnesota.
Drivers, please remember to turn in your transponders when you are done racing. We do not want you to incur any additional charges. Working his way down into the Ultimax belt by Timken Winner Circle. Your winner of the F500 class from Clear Lake, Minnesota, Austin Graber.
So here we go. Congratulations to Austin Graber. What a nice win there. A nice checkered flag for his shop at home.
Gotta love being able to bring home a 63rd World Championship Snowmobile Derby checkered flag.
Next up, we're going to see that Sport 500 class, which is the lower class of the class we just watched, Mike. So we're going to have 6 riders in there.
5-lap final here in the F500 Sport. Moving on to race number 6 on the day. Sport F500 final. 5 laps here, 6 sleds slated to take the green flag.
So we're going to see 434 Miranda Peterson out of Lancaster, Minnesota. Oliver Davis on that 29 sled again from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And the 14, Brady Molosky from Rudyard, Michigan. 28 is Kason Fiebig from Sebewaing, Michigan. And the 48 of Rich Mork from right here in Eagle River, Wisconsin. So 43 is in the field as well. That's Carson Peterson out of Lancaster, Minnesota. And that's another family name from the past out of Lancaster, the Peterson family, continuing their racing history here with us at the Eagle River World Championships.
Rico calls them on down to the line.
Some good-looking equipment there, Mike, as we get out. You got to look at that 29 sled of Davis. He has been fast all weekend. Smooth and fast, I should say.
Rico looks over the field.
Flag in hand, and we are green.
Marianne Peterson, the first into turn number 1.
Oliver Davis on the outside there, Mike. He's given challenge there, but Peterson with a nice lead here going into turn 3 and 4. Whoa, little
Pushing
bumpy. Bumping again. Woo, there's rubbing, there's racing, Mike. But the 434.
Look
out
at this
in
dog
front.
fight for second.
Wow, do we have a race. Just because they're sport riders doesn't mean they're riders.
Out
They
there
are
to give
rocking it.
everything they want. They're fighting for a world championship.
And they're wheeling those sleds around. Davis high on the outside.
4 wide, coming off of 4.
Whoa, do we have a good battle here for that second place spot, Mike? It's anybody's call.
Peterson continues to pour on the speed coming out of turn number 2.
It's advantage Peterson with all these other riders fighting in the back. Just keeps moving away. Miranda Peterson. She is on rails there and looking very good. And Oliver Davis is bringing up the rear. That's not a normal spot for Ollie. He's got to work hard here. Now working on that last place sled, so it's a battle for 4th.
Peterson cornering really well here.
White flag is out for Miranda Peterson in this Sport 500 class here. Miranda just a couple more corners to go if she can hold together.
Neck and neck fighting for second place. It's going to go to the 43, or 48, excuse me, of Mork.
Peterson and Peterson, we could have a challenge for the lead here. Looks like a family affair up front with Miranda Peterson and Carson Peterson. 1-2.
That was Carson. I'm sorry. My mistake. As they came across the line, Miranda Peterson, Carson Peterson, Rick Mork, Carson Feebig, and Oliver Davis.
Great run there for Miranda Peterson. She looked very smooth. And again, the Peterson family from Lancaster, Minnesota, they've been around here for a long time. They keep coming back, and they're going to take home some checkers today.
In your Ultimax belt by Timken Winner Circle, from Lancaster, Minnesota, Miranda Peterson.
Congratulations to Miranda Peterson putting it down out there on the big Eagle River Derby track. And that's going to be a nice ride home for Miranda to Lancaster tonight, Mike.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be moving on to race 7 on the docket. Outlaw 600 final.
And again, these Outlaw sleds, Mike, we talked about them earlier. Tracks on the outside, a cockpit with a steering wheel on the inside, foot pedals like a sprint car, roll cage, 600cc modified motor, and then a ski under the seat for balance. So an interesting concept. Again, these sleds, a lot of the drivers are probably a little bit older. They don't want their body hanging out there anymore. I had a nice chat with Tim Hibbard this morning talking about some of the design of the sled. He was involved with John Hooper in the development of this one. So John Hooper, there's a reason he's in the Hall of Fame, Mike. Riders like Gary Moyle, riders like Philip Moulton that race for him. Obviously Landon Benoit from out in the New Hampshire area. All great riders. And, of course, one of the most famous, P.J. Wanderscheid and Gary Moyle. All on Hooper equipment.
Nothing but studs.
All the way down that line. You bet. And Larry Day, one of the buddies I used to race with, Larry Day got a world championship. He was also on a Hooper Arctic Cat. John Hooper has a history here at the Derby. And, of course, the sponsor, Steve Livingston. What a guy that benefits the Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. He's helping out Tim Hibbard here today in that Arctic Cat.
This is going to be an absolutely awesome Outlaw 600 final. We're going for 7 laps here
We got front row Joe Schneider on the 1 out of St. Germain, Wisconsin, and Chris Plasky from St. Germain on the outside. Tim Hibbard from New Hampshire, he's in the 32. He's on the inside of row 2 with Ty Webster from Monroe, Wisconsin. Dave Webster from Monroe on the inside of row 3. And Ronald Thera from Lisbon, Iowa on the outside of row 3. Chris Thorne, he's on from Dufresne's, Manitoba. He's one of our Canadian competitors. And Kyle Schneider out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. He's on the 84. On the inside of row 5, it's the number 14 of Nathan Gephardt. He's out of St. Germain. And again, the 3X or the 84 3XL of James Kieran of Browntown, Wisconsin. Bringing up row 6 is Jordan Grabowski. He's out of Eagle River here, Mike.
We got one tied up there coming out of the paddock area. We got to stop the field as we come around here.
So I'm assuming they've got a 2-minute clock on that driver as they wait for him to get in the field here. But we've got looking like a good field of sleds here for this Outlaw 600 bike.
It's going to be one heck of a battle here. They were some fast-running boys and as they came across here.
As we keep ticking them off, we're getting closer and closer to the 63rd World Championship Derby final, Mike. Every race we get a little bit closer here to the excitement.
Oh, yeah. They're working on getting them unstuck over there coming out of the paddock area.
One thing I know is, when I've talked to some of the builders, a good friend of mine, Davey Ricklock out of Three Lakes, Wisconsin, does a lot of work with these guys. And these sleds are quite a bit heavier than a normal snowmobile and, bulkier. So when they're getting them into trailers or bringing them down into snow, they're an ice-specific sled. They're really not designed to go in deep snow. So I'm sure that was a challenge getting them out here. So apparently that sled is not going to move, Mike. Something else happened.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So as the Outlaw class goes here, we roll them down, and it's a rolling start here as we come across. You'll notice Rico's up on top of the building down in the front stretch here. He's going to flag them from up there where they get a little better view of him.
Yep, this is more like a sprint car or a stock car race, Mike, where the flagman here is on the outside of the track now. The driver's in those cockpits. A little easier to see Rico up on the building, so Rico will take his stand up there to flag this race. But we've got a doozy of a field here for this Outlaw 600, and the racing's been side by side the whole way.
Keep your eye on Rico. Watch for the flag.
And we're green, and there goes Tim Hibbard right away. Hibbard pulls the trigger down to the inside. Hibbard out of New Hampshire. Look at the move he made, and it's Plasky and Hibbard 1 and 2 with Joe Schneider in third. Nice move by Hibbard on the start, but Plansky's been fast all weekend. I'm not sure he's catchable, Mike.
Yeah, he's really cooking down there.
So Plansky drives to the inside. Tim Hibbard right there behind him, but Hibbard eating a lot of snow dust that time. And it looks like Plansky's spreading it out a little bit on Hibbard.
He's got some real speed through those straightaways.
Now Hibbard laying it down on the inside, trying to run the shorter way around the track. But Plansky keeps it planted, and he's going. Joe Schneider to the third, Webster in the fourth, and the 381 of Soren in fifth.
We got the 381 there sneaking into fourth place there. That is Soren.
So we've got a two-sled battle up front. It looks like Hibbard and Plansky. If Plansky messes up at all, Hibbard's right there, but it's going to have to be a big
Good
mess up.
challenge for third, but pushing real high was the 381 of Soren.
Joe Schneider in that number 1 still holding on to third place. Soren working hard on him to try and get around. But the race is really up front here if Hibbard can catch Plansky. And he's running out of time, Mike.
One little bobble is all it takes, though. He's knocking on the back door.
Plansky now feeling the pressure from Hibbard. He's got to be thinking everything is working right on his sled. Is it going to hold together, Mike? He moves a little high, opens the door for Hibbard. Tim Hibbard now ever so close on that 32 machine.
Hibbert really tight on him coming through the corner.
He's going to make it a race, Mike. He's all the way from Lancaster, New Hampshire. He's got to go home with a win.
Hibbert looks to the bottom again.
Hibbert, the laundry's out, and here he goes for the move at the white flag. It's side by side into one. Hibbert up high. Plansky down low, Mike.
Hibbert slid just a little bit high there, lost some momentum, and we got Schneider T-Bone there. He spins around. He's going to keep
The
going.
race is up front, though, Mike. Here we go. Hibbert with one last shot. There's a lapper in the way. That's going to help Plansky. Plansky's going to take the checkered, and Hibbert will take number 2.
What a race. The 381 of Soren coming across in third, followed by Front Row Joe.
Wow, what a race, Mike. It's just every race we're getting a lot of front end help there at the front. That's exciting when they're racing for the checker, Mike.
Absolutely. Nothing but excitement here at the 63rd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby.
And we check one more off. We're getting closer to the big race, Mike.
Oh, yeah. He works his way down here in front of the Ultimax belt winner circle by Timken, collecting his 63rd World Championship Snowmobile Derby checkered flag. That's the 19 of Chris Pulaski from St. Germain, Wisconsin.
So again, we're here in the tower here, and Plansky is here, just winning the race in that number 19. Congratulations. And folks, I've got a special guest here in the booth, none other than you folks would know him as a writer, a magazine man, and now John Pruzek is an Arctic Cat man. John, welcome to the booth.
Thanks, Mark. I just came up to say what a wonderful job you've been doing, but you two guys have just brought so much energy to this event and stuff. And, you know, this event is religion to me, so I had to come up even though I'm not doing the tip sheet and the Snowgoer Cup and all that stuff anymore.
John, we certainly missed the tip sheet. That was always something I looked forward to when I was racing here and got to look at my you never gave me a very good tip, though, John. I was always a pretty low-rated driver.
Well, I don't know. You were up there back. You know, now that we're doing Formula 3 for World Championships again, I figured we'd see you back out there. That was kind of your class.
It was, but not really. I mean, I was there. I was fortunate enough to get in that field 3 times in the top 10 front row.
Nice.
But there's some great drivers, of course, you know, with the Hools, Tim Bender, Guy Useldinger, Jim Abelson, Troy Pierce, and go down the list.
Yeah.
We're way back, but John, great to see you up here.
Great
Tell us a
seeing
little
you.
about your new role with Arctic Cat.
Well, in October, I had a pretty big career change. I left the media world and joined Arctic Cat. I'm the kind of the marketing PR guy there now, so it's all about writing press releases and organizing stuff for our 2027 product lineup that you guys won't see in the near future here coming up, and organizing photo shoots and things like that.
Very good. Well, we've got another line of races here, but don't go away. I want to talk to you a little bit about your role with the Hall of Fame too, John. So hand that back to Mike. We'll call this race, and we'll get you back on the microphone. And there we go, the 19 with a great move there, Mike.
The 19 of Furyk. We also got the 722 of Sawyer Pfister and the 19Z of Lucas Zadroik out there.
What a good race battle we got going on here. And now we just got to pass for the lead, Mike.
Pfister able to overcome him there back on the backstretch. Carson Furyk in tow, looking for just the smallest mistake out of Pfister.
That's a good run there we've got going. And again, these young drivers, what an experience to get out here on the Eagle River Derby track. And we've got a battle, Mike, for first place again.
Working their way out of turn number 4. Coming down to take the laundry from Rico. The 722 of Sawyer Pfister.
Making their way out of turn 1 and 2 now down the back straightaway, and they're coming down for that checkered flag. another world champion crown, but it's not done yet, Mike.
2 left turns and a checkered to go.
And
Your winner on the 722, Sawyer Pister.
way to go,
Followed
Sawyer.
by the 19 of Carson Furyk and the 19Z of Lucas Zadroik. That was your Junior 1 F500 final.
So we've got Pfister coming down for the win here, a nice win in that final, and he's going to take home that coveted checkered flag from Eagle River, Mike.
Working his way around to the Ultimax belt by Timken Winner Circle.
Fantastic to see these young riders out here. I really enjoy watching them come about, and we talked about it, Mike. Gunnar Stern, Blaine Stevenson, they both came out of Kitty Cat. Look where they're at now, the World Championship.
He's got his way into the winner circle here. The Ultimax belt by Timken Winner Circle. He's from London Station, Wisconsin. The 722 of Sawyer Pfister.
Way to go, Sawyer. And back on the mic here, we've got John Pruzak. John, you are also involved heavily now with the Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame on the board of directors. I served on that board for a while. You've now been on the board. Tell us a little bit about that job.
Well, I'm very fortunate to be asked to be a member of that board. You know, you and I have such an appreciation for the history of this sport, and really that's what the Eagle River World Championship is. It's people who appreciate the history, the pageantry, and we're so fortunate up here in the Northwoods to have over in St. Germain, we've got the Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. We've got the World Snowmobile headquarters next door. So if people want to celebrate really the color of this sport, there's no place like the Northwoods.
There sure isn't. And John, we talked about some of the historical drivers that are here, the Hayes brothers, Doug and Gene, walking around just like a normal fan. They don't even let you know how famous they are, John.
I just talked to them downstairs when they were ordering some fresh bratwurst. They were just in line a few minutes ago. And yeah, you want to talk about history, and for this year's Hall of Fame, such a good class, especially people who are celebrated here at the Derby track. We've got Gary Moyle going in. We've got Terry Wall going in and Marcel Imbeau. There's just such great names. And then Greg Marier, who was, kingpin at Yamaha and also with Polaris and Scorpion and everything. Just a lot of history to celebrate.
You bet. John, thank you so much for coming up and visiting. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Good luck in your new role with Arctic Cat. We're looking forward to great things from you guys at Cat.
And you guys keep up the great work up here, and thanks for coming to this weekend, everybody who's here.
Thank you, John. John Pruzak, one of the famous guys from our media and now working with the Arctic Cat crew. But we're here back going racing again, Mike.
Moving on to race number 9 on the docket, the Junior 2 F500 final. This is a 3-lap final. We have 8 drivers slated to take the green flag.
So again, we've got some more F500s. This is a pretty common class. Seems like we've got a fair amount of participants in this one again, Mike.
We got the 29 of Oliver Davis from Stevens Point. The 86 of Austin Menta from Sault Ste. Marie. The 24 of Brody Bartman. The 43 of Carson Peterson. The 626 of Waylon Corpita. The 922 of Oliver Pfister. The 44 of Marley Peterson. And the 26 of Evan McCaig. Riders are under starters' orders. Our track general down there, Rico, eyes the field.
Maciag. We got to say Maciag, right, or we're going to get in trouble, Mike. Here we go. And a good battle there around in the turn 3 and 4 now.
Gets crossed up there for a second, but
It's
coming
the
back.
29 of Davis with the 86 of Minta there from Sault Ste. Marie. But Davis now firmly out front there, Mike. He's running a good line.
Good challenge here for third as they come into turn number 3.
Watch Oliver Davis' sled. He looks like he may have a little equipment problem there. His seat's coming off. You can see the seat bobbling in the corners like it might pop off his sled.
The white flag is out.
We got the 43 pulled down on the inside, Mike. That's Peterson. But it looks like Ollie Davis here coming around for the checkered if that seat holds on his sled.
Davis pushes a little high. We got a good challenge here coming for second, but it's going to be Davis as they come across the line. Followed by Minta, Pfister, Bartonen, Corpita. The 44 of Marley Peterson.
Mike, I'm going to give a special shout out to my godson down in Fox Lake, Wisconsin, Will Hunt. Will Hunt down in Fox Lake is watching here, and my godson, hope they're enjoying the races there in Fox Lake.
Absolutely. We hope all of you are enjoying our coverage here on FloRacing and here at the track in the hot seats as well. We want to thank you all for spending your time here with us at the World Championship Derby Complex for the 63rd running of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby at Eagle River.
Mike, like I said before, there's a lot of famous drivers. I've just got word that Gary Moyle is on site here at the track. Maybe we can coax Gary coming up to do an interview. He's a Hall of Famer, two-time world champ.
Absolutely. We'd love to have Gary stop on up and see us for a few minutes.
Let's see if you guys can find Gary and send him up our way, get him on the microphone. Also, it'd be great to have Doug Hayes come up here. If Doug's out listening, Doug, come on up and give us a little interview here when we're plowing the track. We'd love to talk to Doug Hayes and hear some more of his stories from back in the history of racing here at Eagle River.
Yep. Race number 10 on the docket for the day is the F500 Sportsman 600 combo.
So, Mike, these again, this is a pretty fast class. You're going to see 600cc stock-bodied sleds with the 500 lighter weight F500s. Again, all weekend long, it's been Troy D. Wald in the 21. He's been a rocket ship.
This is a 5-lap final for your F500 Sportsman 600 combo.
Rico has the flag in hand, and we are green. And Troy D. Wald again. Troy D. Wald right to the bottom, Mike, in the lead. And look at his power
Fullerton
down
had
the
a
back
good shot
straightaway.
off on the pole shot there as well. He's running in second, but good challenge there on the outside.
Troy D. Wald from Augrey, Michigan in the lead on the 21 with that 18 of Michael Kunzer now up front.
As they come across the line, it was DeWald, Kuzner, Fullerton, Dalsky, Lambert, Feebig, and Lerkson.
Fullerton on that 71 out of Thessalon, Ontario, Canada, one of our Canadian drivers.
We got a rider slowing down out of turn number 2. DeWald continues to lead.
Troy DeWald definitely on the rails this weekend. Again, he's the father of Zach DeWald, who was a reigning current world champion here. We'll see Zach a little later, but Troy looking real good as 55-year-old man.
Well,
whoa, and we got one hard over up in turn 3. A barrel roll for that sled, Mike, and that one is that one's gonna hurt. Wow.
For sure. Fortunately, he's back on his feet down there. I'm sure shooken up, but back on his feet altogether, and we're glad to see that he's able to get up. That's the 15 of Ryan Dulski.
Dulski out of Brimley, Michigan. Looks like he just caught a chatter bump there, Mike, and it sent him for a barrel roll.
All types of debris there up in the corner that they're going to have to clean up there as the sled came apart a little bit, but he's up. He's able to get the sled running, moving back down toward the paddock area.
Yes, sir. Good to see him back up. He's one tough character, but he took a pretty hard hit coming down on that ice, Mike, a barrel roll.
He's going to head her up into the pit area. He's going to be done for the day.
Yep, so he's going to take it to the trailer. We'll get everybody restaged, but Troy DeWald was kind of on his own race there, Mike, again. That 600 Polaris of his is rocking.
Well, definitely people are glad to get the opportunity to get that hole shot chance again as they get the restart here. We're going to take just a couple minutes to get everything cleaned up there in turn number 3. But we got an army of awesome volunteers up there cleaning it up, getting things just right so we can get back to racing.
Boy, that guy turned.
Yeah, that was definitely an very exciting wreck from up here, Mike. A lot of debris scattering when that sled barrel rolled, but that gives you an idea of the forces out there on that track and the momentum that those sleds can have when they take a bad turn.
Now, these sleds that we have out here, am I correct in saying that we have one 500 out there and the rest are 6s? Or is there another
like
one?
Danik Lambert's sled. Danik Lambert on the 3 is a 500, and also
The 28 is, am I correct?
The yellow-colored sled is an F500. The rest of those sleds are all the 600 mod sleds.
Copy that, Rico. There will be 3 laps to go.
We're going to have 3 laps to go here in this F500 Sportsman 600 combo. We're going to move them back up into turn number 4 and bring them down to Rico, staggered out for the restart.
So once again, Mike, that big lead gets thrown in the garbage can for Troy DeWald. He's got some real battlers behind him with Danik Lambert from Quebec. You've got the 71 of Fullerton out of Ontario. We've got the 18 Kunzer from Michigan and the 28 of Kaysen Feiberg. So DeWald's going to have to pull the trigger and just drive smooth here to get this checkered flag, but definitely the man to beat on that 21, Troy DeWald.
Kunzner going to be brought into the second spot. In the third spot's going to be the 71 of Fullerton. The 3 of Lambert, followed by the 28 of Phoebe. Good hole shot there for DeWald. Headed down into turn number 1. DeWald continues to pour on the speed down the backstretch. Coming out of turn number 4, he's going to take the white flag from Rico. That's the 21 of Troy DeWald leading the race, followed by Kunzner, Fullerton, Lambert, Feibig. Coming out of turn number 4, going to take that checkered flag in the Sportsman 500-600 combo. That's the 21 of Troy DeWald. He's going to be followed across by Kuzner, Fullerton, Lambert, and Feibig.
All right, Mike, that wraps up racing that we have today now.
Here he comes back around to the Ultimax Belts winner circle by Timken. The F500 Sportsman 600 combo.
Troy DeWald, the man on that 21. He's been hot all weekend, Mike. You couldn't bet against him. He's a cagey old veteran, certainly a guy that's probably going to end up in that Hall of Fame someday, Mike.
Absolutely. Congratulations from Algiers, Michigan. The number 21, Troy DeWald.
Congratulations to the DeWald crew. Now we have pretty much gone through the sheet, Mike. They're going to clear the track, and we're going to be going to the big World Championship Derby race here coming up with the Formula 3 sleds.
Well, you got some time to get yourself down into the expo hall. Stop on in at the Last Lap Saloon and get yourself a delicious adult beverage. Lots of different flavors available for you at the Last Lap Saloon. And hey, while you're in the expo hall, don't forget to get into the gift garage. You gotta go home with some type of merchandise from the World Championship Derby Complex and the 63rd World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Great big thank you to our great sponsors here all weekend long. Great sponsors that help clean the track up for us, like like Case, pulling away from the Ultimax Belts winner circle. Those Case end loaders and Bobcats out there on the track with the brushes, they're bringing us the best surface that we can get out here for these guys and gals to race on. Big thank you to Case Construction, Case IH. We also want to thank Eagle River Ford, Dodge, and Jeep for those awesome Ford trucks down there with the Western plows on the front of them. Great big thank you to Fly Racing and Diva Snow Gear, DSG, for their awesome winter apparel. We want to thank the great folks at Elevated Docks and Lifts, Trigg Smokehouse, King's Quarry, Wild Eagle Lodge, Dean Distributing, Truck Center of Rhinelander, Eagle Country RV, Mountain Dew, Ultimax Belts by Timken, and Northern Lakes Concrete. All great major sponsors helping us to bring this event to you here all weekend long, along with so many others. Great big thank you to these amazing volunteers you find all over the grounds helping us to bring this event to you. We couldn't provide any of this without the work of you great volunteers. So thank you.